Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live programs. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jennifer Savage, and I will be your host for today's show. Today, we are excited to present to you our second season of Jack Price is Right. We had a fantastic run with our first season, and we were going from hard-hitting topics all the way from truth to acclaim to agreements and ending with success. Now we will be exploring doubt as it relates to our lives and experiences, anywhere from the lens of musician, artist, manager, performer, and all the way down to the eye level of the crude and unfiltered human being. Doubt. Who has it and why do we doubt? What can you do about it? There is no one-size-fits-all answer, and this could leave you with more questions than simple answers, but it's more real that way, and that's what we're here for. I am excited to be joined live with co-host and celebrated partner in crime, Dikran Atamian, otherwise known as Jack Price. And just to give you a little introduction here, formerly known as Dikran Atamian and now known as Jack Price, he began his career in artist management in response to his own career as an RCA recording artist after winning first prize in the 50th anniversary Nuremberg competitions, and as well as the crazy pianist who premiered The Right for Solo Piano. Jack Price, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Oh, wow. What a rousing...
Or I should say welcome back.
Is that the leftover audience from Nashville or something? Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, right.
There were some
I have a gift for everybody now. On each show, I'm going to do an imitation. Yeah, so this one, I bet you can't figure it out. I say, son, I say you need some learning. I say you need some respect. I say, you know who that is?
Wow, I couldn't get.
Put it up on the screen. Foghorn,
God.
Foghorn Leghorn, the rooster, you know, from
You want the rooster.
Warner Brothers, Merrily Melodies or whatever it's called.
God.
Yeah, it's something from my era. Nobody knows it, you know.
Yeah, that was the Triassic period.
No, it's like Tweety Bird. Yeah, it's from ancient Russia. Yeah, no, not Russia. Okay. It's
Russia.
It's more like it's in Siberia. It's long far, way forgotten. But anyway, it's great to be here. I want to say at the outset of the show, since you mentioned the Naumburg, this year 25 marks the 100th anniversary of the Naumburg Foundation and the 50th anniversary of my winning it at the 50th anniversary. So if that makes sense. Yeah, this is the 50th, 25. I was saving this information for an appropriate time. And so, this is the 50th year. I won it in 75. It started in 1925. And some great luminaries have won it, like George Bollett and William Capel and Robert Mann and Kavakos. This is a violinist that everybody knows that plays a lot now. Stephen Hoff, a lot of people. So anyway, so happy birthday, Naumburg. That's all I can say. I'm not sure they're having an anniversary piano competition this year. I don't think so, but we're going to celebrate it, and it's being celebrated right now on our website. So,
and right here, with this crowd.
Oh yeah, what a crowd! I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I doubt.
Congrats to the Naumburg.
I doubt that that's a crowd.
Really? Doubt.
Yes.
Wow, that's really funny that you say that
so
term.
isn't it?
Because that really segues well into our topic for today's episode. Season 2, our first episode, is on the topic of doubt. So let's get right into it and dive headfirst into what do you mean when you're talking about doubt? And for now, let's move on to the door number 1 and see what's behind it. So, doubt.
Yes, doubt. Yeah. Well, the topic, who has it? That's door number one.
Yes.
Oh, the easy answer, and I think we'd have to all agree if we're honest, is every living human being. I don't know if ants have it or turtles or, horses, but probably in their own little, world. Doubt is pervasive. It's just everywhere, and it's kind of, this is a big topic too. I think all of these topics just take so much time to get into, so you'll have to limit me and curb my enthusiasm, shall we say.
Wow.
Yeah, oh, wow. So
we've heard of that, yes.
Doubt is something that everyone has. At the outset, I will say I have tremendous doubt. I don't doubt that you have tremendous doubt. It's not a bad thing. All the producers in the world and all the directors in the world, they're all, did I do that scene right? Did I shoot it right? Is the lighting right? Doubt is so pervasive in our very existence. I hesitate to say it's not a societal problem. It's an existential problem. It's everywhere. There's doubt in every corner. There's doubt in every room. There's doubt around the corner. There's doubt in your car. Did I forget my keys? I doubt it because I know they're in my pocket. But then again, they may not be in your pocket. So then you have to. Right. Doubt is just unbelievably everywhere. It's a great topic. Right. It's a tremendous thing, I would say. Doubt is powerful too. It's motivational, like the truth, like our opening to the last series. If you doubt, it kind of pushes you along to do better, like other things we talked about. It's
where there are people, there is and will be doubt in those.
Yeah, everywhere. Everyone doubts everyone. I mean, first of all, here's a good example. I go into the garage. They say, "Hey, Tamian, you need a water pump, for the car." And I go, "I doubt it." That of course, that's assuming that I have great knowledge of the inner workings of a motor vehicle, but I don't. And therefore, what do I have to do? Trust enters in. So doubt and trust are very... Trust. Yeah, doubt and trust are related, because if you doubt something, you're not really knowledgeable, let's say, on any topic. I'm very doubtful of almost everything. I know very little about anything. I know a couple of things. I know a little bit about the piano. I know a little bit about music in general. And I know a little bit about politics, but I doubt constantly. And I'm always trying to second guess everybody, because you don't really know the answer. So doubt pervades. It's just everywhere. It's like cancer, it just eats you up. Yeah.
Because one can't know everything. And then because you know that you don't know everything, then therefore you're going to run into doubt, self-doubt.
Correct.
Doubt in general, because of your lack of knowledge, and because no one can know everything for sure to dissuade that doubt, that element of doubt. Well, so just to play devil's advocate here, then what about people that don't know that they don't know everything? So this is kind of getting into Dunning-Kruger, where people believe that they know everything. And actually don't know anything. What would you say about those people? Do they have? Do they experience doubt? Do they even know they have doubt?
Well, the blissful life is the ignorant life. The blissful life is not knowing really, it's a great day. It's phenomenal. I'm not saying it's not a great day. It is great to be alive, but there's so much doubt that you can't help but think, wow, this is a precarious thing, life. You wake up and you don't know what's going to happen. You say, I'm going to succeed today. I'm going to do well, but I kind of doubt it, because of yesterday being so bad,
Right.
And everything's in relation to everything else. Like, you can only go in a way by your history, and your history says you're going to do this, but then people change. That's the thing. That's the variable in life, is that people do change, but they remain the same.
People do change.
It's the biblical thing is, if a man changes, doesn't he remain the same man? That's a direct quote. Okay. Now, in other words, you can change, but you're still you. I mean, you look the same, you sound the same, but your ideas and everything changes, your appearance, look.
Then your element of doubt could change as well. Like
It could.
Depending on your confidence, depending on where you are in your life.
There are very few things, I agree with you, totally. Very few things that I'm confident of, even though people, let's say, perceive me, wow, he's really confident. I like his confidence. That's what some people say about me. But what they don't know is that confidence comes from a constant, I would say, attacking my beliefs, or what's the word?
Like,
I question everything I do. Yes, I question all of my ideas. But a lot of people don't perceive it that, wow, he's very confident. This is the truth. He thinks
he never questions himself, right? That's what you give off. But
I think that really, exactly. That solves door number one. The answer is everyone.
Where there are people, there's going to be doubt, and it's pervasive and it's tremendous. All right, moving on to door number 2. Let's see what's behind it.
Again,
what can you do about it?
What can you do about it is another huge topic, subtopic within the topic. I mean, this is really, there's so many things you can do. First of all, my friends, my friends that I know, I don't have that many, but they use these little Post-its and put them up on the refrigerator, like, have a good attitude. It's another day. You are motivational stuff.
Little tidbits,
okay. Yeah, I know what they're called. They're affirmations. Sorry, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely the wordsmith. I'll eventually come up with the word. So here's the deal. Affirmations are good, but they're misleading, and sometimes they're pure and right out lie, but they do motivate and get you to think less doubtfully. Like one of these motivational things, these affirmations is, remember you are loved. Now, I really doubt. Now here, I'm gonna just be honest. I doubt almost anyone loves me. Okay, now don't laugh. Just you laugh.
But everybody.
Okay, I'm a polarizing figure. Gee, I wonder where you got that from. And some people absolutely love it. Some people absolutely hate it, and some people go,
indifferent.
Yeah, right. It's just so. And isn't that in itself? I mean, it's the gamut. Everybody has those 3 reactions to everyone and every idea. Because if you go to a concert and you say, "Wow, this is the most phenomenal, Brahms Paganini variations I've ever heard," you'll get another guy to come out, "What a mess! That was the biggest fake job, and they floored the pedal, and it's just stank to high heaven." So you've got, and I doubt that either of these are accurate. The truth is somewhere in the middle, as everyone says. It's an amalgamation of ideas. That's why Lincoln had a cabinet of 12 Democrats, and he was a Republican. I think they were all Democrats, people who opposed his opinion, so he could get their opinion and come to a real answer to problems, a decision.
The truth was somewhere in the middle.
Well, yeah. Well, he wanted everyone's opinion.
Right.
So
even ones that were different from his.
He didn't doubt that. He didn't doubt that the real answer is somewhere in the middle, but he definitely had doubts about his opinions. You see, we all do. We all do. I mean, So that's really the answer to that one is there are a million ways to combat doubt, millions of ways to combat it. We don't even have time in the next year to cover all those combats, the antidotes to doubt. Hard work definitely combats doubt. Just work hard, put your head down like a swimmer, and keep swimming. That's one version. You know, think.
Generates confidence.
Yeah. Another one is, you know, everybody knows this one. Think positively. Well, you know, in a world like this, it's pretty hard to think positively, but you've got to, otherwise you're done. See what I mean? You're just done. Put a fork in it. Yeah.
There's
okay.
that existential side to it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the doubt exists all the time. Just ask Kierkegaard or any of these philosophers, Paolo Soleri. We talked about it all the time while he was alive. Like, how do you know?
Soleri, yeah.
You know, Soleri would say, how do you know? You know, that's in his Italian accent. I said, I know, but I didn't. but I didn't really.
About doubt and existential questions with Paolo Soleri.
Oh yeah, I could devote a whole season to Soleri, and he could devote a whole season to Frank Lloyd Wright, his teacher, his you know, his mentor. But and I come from that area of Scottsdale where Taliesin West is out there, from the Taliesin in Wisconsin where Frank Lloyd Wright summered, you know, and I know this guy Dodge, he told me all kinds of stuff. He used to run the firm, the Frank Lloyd Wright firm, the architectural firm. And I mean, we had talks about this at Arco Santi millions of times, is how do you know? You don't. That's the point. And this whole idea of you're not living if you don't have breakthroughs. The reason why you have breakthroughs, plural, is because you're doubting the breakthrough right before this breakthrough. You're going, oh, you know, I'm not sure that works. You know, let's lean over here, you know, or lift your wrist or whatever. It's all based.
To have a breakthrough, you have to have doubt before.
Yes, you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't change anything. Change only comes from doubt. I mean, it's not the only element in change, but it is a major instigator of change. Okay, enough said. The bottom line is, what do you do about it? There are too many ways to do anything about it. We've touched on a few.
Right. Okay. There's a whole world of doubt out there, you might say.
Whole world of answers too, and there are no answers in a way. So the whole thing is, it's a conundrum. That's what it is. You know.
So we'll pivot here with a little clip that we'll show, and just to switch things up a little bit, and stay tuned right here on Jack Price is Right.
That was Rachmaninoff's Etude Tableau in E-flat minor, Opus 33.
Okay, wow. That was a great clip. That was Rachmaninoff Etude Tableau with Tigran Atamian at the piano. And before we move on to door number 3, I do want to ask Jack Price here, or AKA Decronatamian. Where was the doubt in that performance? I mean,
There was
like
there was
like
there was
can't see.
There's not only no doubt in that performance, I rewrote the ending, so I was very not doubtful about it. But that's just the thing. It's the attitude. I was young, as you can tell. I looked different, And so, haha. And the thing is, now what most of my girlfriends in the past say, what happened? Yeah, very good. So anyway, the thing is, I rewrote that ending because it's just lousy ending. I'm sorry. Composers this is the thing. You got to challenge the music itself, not Rachmaninoff, but his product, his progeny, which is the piece. But how do you
bring yourself to challenge something if you have so much doubt to begin with, right? Like what?
Well, I mean, you can have doubt all the time and still also be very, that's no good. But you might doubt that decision too. I've never doubted that ending. I think it's spectacular.
The decision itself, yeah.
Yeah, I remember playing it for Bolette once. He says, that's the way it should end, And I said, yeah, that's right. Because this da-da-da-da, boom, boom, this ending the Rachmaninoff wrote, it's almost like he just said, I've already written an incredible piece. That is an incredible piece of music. I mean, It's really not a normal Rachmaninoff-ish type piece, except for the fact that it has lots and lots of notes. But it's 2.5 minutes of hell if you play it like that. Now, a lot of people play it much more measured, and It's not that. It's more of a will-o'-the-wisp kind of thing, like a fouffalé type attitude, or
and washes and runs that are.
Yeah, I mean it's
rather than every little note is.
Well, it is every no. It's very, very clean, articulate type. You want a clean performance, but what I'm saying is to have it measured makes it very easy because you've heard performances. It's absolutely in dull, strict time. And I doubt that Rachmaninoff had that in mind. He was much more of a colorist and a moodist. And, he's all about mood. I mean, you take the third concerto. Wow, what an opening. It's that mood. It's just so. Yeah, it's an incredible mood. It's one of the greatest moods, Anyway, that's how I feel about it.
Great. We just wanted to talk a bit about that clip, but
no doubt.
No doubt there. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so you heard it from here, straight from the artist, right after the clip. But moving on, let's see what is behind our next topic and our next door, number 3. So back to doubt. What can you do about it, and why does it matter?
Why does it matter?
Why does doubt matter?
It matters because it creates some kind of forward motion. It's not a negative thing. That's why I wanted to do this. I came up with these topics pretty carefully, even though I came up with them quickly. This topic of doubt interests me because it's what motivates everything I do. I get up in the morning, like around 5, 6 a.m. and I go, Jesus, it's an urgency, if you have an urgent message, then you have something to say. If you're not urgent, you're just, okay, he's musical or she's musical, but do they have anything to say? Do they have anything
behind it? Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of musical people. When you think about musicianship, you think, whatever name comes to mind. But try to tell me something I don't know. Try to find me someone and something that says something, that really comes out with it, that's self-effacing, that exposes their innards, their insides, and says, this is what I believe, and I don't care what you think. That's something to say. Not like I'm a conformist. I'm into convention, and I'm going to go along with the crowd and all this. No, just say something. That's where doubt plays a big part, because I get up in the morning and I doubt everything. I go, oh, what am I going to do today about that tour? Because we're touring orchestras now, and you got to do this and do that, and the bus schedule and whatever. It's just filled with doubt. So,
like, what drives you is that sense of doubt of like, can you pull it together? Like, there's so many things depending on this. What if, right? What if something happens, and then that sense of urgency,
It's like Nixon said, people don't vote out of love, they vote out of fear.
Out of fear.
And fear comes from doubt. So let's say, okay, you're sitting here, you go, I doubt that. Oh, no, what am I going to do about it? I mean, then you fear. The fear creeps in.
Right,
It's pretty prevalent, in other words, it spreads, like we talked, it spreads, and there's nothing worse than fear. Nothing. I would have to say
it's the base. The base of doubt is fear itself, right?
Yeah.
So why it matters is, we were talking about the sense of urgency, but what else can you do about doubt?
Well, that's the second door, right? What you can do about it. Okay, we'll go back to the second door. So what you can do about it, let's say, getting up in the morning and not knowing what to do. This happens to everybody and to me, and whatever. I think what you can do, I get sometimes overwhelmed, and I say, look, clear the plate and just do what's right in front of you and then move on. Okay, just move very linearly. It's like playing the piano. You don't go up and down like this. You're wasting motion. You attack things linearly, horizontally, not vertically. Vertical doesn't work. Doesn't work in music, doesn't work in not much. Other than an erect building, that's vertical, but because it's up, floor after floor.
Breaking it down into like a followable path rather than trying to attack everything from top to bottom. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go top at all. I would just go this way. Don't worry about what's built on it. Just keep going. Just keep going. A lot of it, I mean, that's what a swimmer does, and he barely beats his opponent by 1/100th of a second, right? And he's hailed the champion and the gold medal winner. The fact is, everybody else was just as fast as he was, only slightly slower. A lot of that is, that's in music too. I mean, I don't particularly subscribe to that, because I think there are vast differences between performers, but you will get people to say this. Okay, here's where doubt comes in. Yeah. Everybody in this industry plays the same repertoire, the same way, they're trained the same way, and they don't vary it. They're not explored. They don't go out of that box. They don't play Dalla Piccola. They don't play Xenakis. They don't play.
The competitions are sounding, more and more similar. There's a certain style of.
In my opinion, competitions. Absolutely. I think today everyone sounds the same. Very few people stick out, and I know that's offensive to many ears, but I'm about the truth, and that is the truth. That there are very few people who have something to say and say it well. Very few. So that's with that premise, there's a lot of doubt. Okay. Like there's whether or not there should be a lot of doubt. Should I continue being a pianist? Should I continue being a conductor? Should I go into ditch digging? Should I sell Sunrun? Should I sell, vacuum cleaners? Should I go door to door like the Avon lady? Ding dong,
Yeah.
I mean, remember that commercial? The Avon, the Avon commercial was incredible. I love that. And I thought when I was little, I thought I could do that. Yeah. Except I'm a man. Except I'm a man, and Avon products are for women. So anyway,
so
anyway,
there is doubt in the industry for sure.
This industry's full of doubt. Why?
What do you think about artists? Okay, go ahead first.
Oh, I was just going to say why? Because everyone has an opinion, and you're so easily led by others. I'm not, by the way.
Very easily, yes.
Yeah, I'm highly opinionated, and I convince myself, and I am convincing, But there are many people that have no idea how to convince, and so they're constantly in doubt. Now, that doesn't mean I don't have doubt, because I do have many doubts, but you see what I'm saying.
But you don't have doubt in your opinion, though? You know?
No. No, I'm confident in my opinions, but of course, an element of confidence, there's an element of insecurity. There's something in everything. In other words, love has hate. Hate has love. Insecurity has confidence. Confidence has insecurity. There's stuff in everything. It's all made up of the opposites. Okay?
Okay.
I mean, you say something like, oh, I really like that guy, but you know there are a lot of things about that guy you don't like. You see? So there's like and dislike. So that's where doubt comes in. Like, should I really hook up with this partner?
Yeah, you're really opinionated and you're confident in your opinion, but there's also an element of self-doubt.
Correct.
Okay.
There's an element of doubt in everything. That's all I'm saying. In everything.
That's only human. Yeah. Okay, but I think we are running a bit out of time here.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's all I have to say.
That is a lot that we've delved into when it came to the topic of doubt. And it was fascinating getting your insight on
well, thanks.
what it means to you and as an artist, as a performer, as a manager, as a human being. But I want to thank you for your time, and it's been great having you on. This is our second season's first episode, and great to be back and great to have you back. With that, the time is right. Some may say we do gotta go, and I do want to take a little moment here to thank all of our partners and sponsors. And you can see them all up there on screen. We have so many orchestras, music organizations, rehearsal studios, management companies, agencies, recording studios. All of these people together make this program possible. And I also want to thank all of our collaborators as well, working with us to make this possible. With a shout out to the production team. Today's broadcast was powered by Christian Palagi, directing behind the scenes. That's correct. Couldn't have done it without you, and we're all really sincerely grateful to have everybody on board with us on this journey. And with that, that's all we've got for you today. This has been Season 2's first episode of Jack Price is Right. I'm your host, Jennifer Savage, and I hope you've gotten a little something out of it. I know I did. See you next week.